You above Mom's village?
I do know I'm above your mom's village. Did you know that we all started calling your mom the Banksy of the Uplift, and Banksy is one of the most famous artists in the world.
I did not. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, well,
wow.
That's because your mom's going to be more famous. Maybe, probably, maybe
1,000% exactly.
in the Uplift for sure.
I'm still wearing my tuxedo from yesterday. Obviously, I partied too hard last night.
Oh well, that's fun. So just heading back there. The sun's going down. We'll hop over there and get on some gratitudes for everyone. And of course, for those of you that don't know, like we'll be doing the gratitudes, and then we observe a moment of silence together during the sunrise, and then usually. We talk. We have a little. A few of us say a few words. Hello, everybody. And then there's a giant snowball fight because that just happens. I don't know who this is, but I like them. I suppose I could find out. Oh, hey, I think that's Seth. And this right here is the Banksy of the Intertubes, except I think it's actually Leon right now. What's up, Leon? Hey. And LT, laugh track. Greg's hanging out in his "we just launched the thing" suit. All right, guys. Actually, I want to take all of your pictures before I do this.
While you're taking pictures, this is proving to be very difficult. We'll drop in maybe next week. We're gonna hang out in the comments instead. Coffee baby, say bye bye.
Bye bye. So nice to meet you, Coffee baby.
Good to see you guys.
All right, ciao. That's awesome. I'm
so
glad that you could show up.
We're being blocked from broadcasting live on Facebook.
Well, that's obscene.
Yeah, that's kind of dumb.
Weird. All right. Well, Facebook.
The nerve of those people.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do then. I'm just going to put the YouTube link on our FB page and
nailed it.
Actually, I'm going to ask somebody else who's watching to do that because I got 2 screens full of madness right now. If you would be so kind, YouTube people, to copy that back to the Church of Reason page, that'd be cool. We would like that very much.
All right, I got to pull up the comments here so I can actually see them. All right, here we go. You know what? I'm gonna start.
Grateful to be here.
All right. Leon, what are you grateful for this morning?
I'm grateful for making mistakes.
That's a good one. Are you a Zen master?
I don't know.
I think you are.
I think you're a lot by people that you can learn from making mistakes. So.
That's just brilliant, Leon.
It takes people like 40 years to figure out.
For real. Like, yeah,
you don't have to do anything else today.
Exactly.
You are a wise one, young Padawan.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
I'm
brilliant.
not crying.
Right.
You are.
I am grateful for mistakes. Leon, the Zen master. That doesn't fit.
The uncommon Zen master.
Yeah, that also doesn't fit.
Oh.
Leon, ZM.
Yeah, I like it. Boom. We will know. We will know. Good job. Oh, hey. Somebody already did that one. All right. I'll take that one off. There it is right there. Take a snapshot of that because it's brilliant. All right. Does anyone have dreams? Okay, cool. I'll get it.
Yeah, sorry.
Just shared the YouTube link to the Facebook.
Thanks very much, Bob. Thank you.
Bless you.
I got your other one, Dream.
I got Michael B's. I'm grateful for finding a new group of friends.
Here.
All right, Nick. Since it's your first time doing ceremony with us, let me please do yours. I'd be happy to do it.
I'm grateful for being in this ceremony right here.
I gotcha. Glad you're here.
Thank you.
Hey, it's NFT Nick.
It is NFT Nick. What am I doing? They won't even know who he is. He'll just be Nick.
Yeah, there's a lot of Nicks.
Awesome. All right. Who else we got? Greg, you said you got Michael B's?
I did not, but I can.
I got Michael B's.
Sorry. I heard somebody got it. Awesome. All right. Gary said he already put up his. Grateful for patience. That's a good one.
Well, I'm going to tack my own up here.
All right. I got Sue.
I've got Small Town Cowboy. Grateful for the ATM.
I'm grateful for floats. Yesterday got to float again. Her float tanks are open again. It's nice.
Oh, cool. I still have never done that. I got you right here.
It's awesome.
Talking about the edible kind.
Whoa. Whoa.
What? Like milkshake float.
Oh, yeah. That's what everyone.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Grateful for those two.
That's the thing that happened.
You're wrong.
I really need more education.
I want to state mine in case nobody sees it on the wall, just because I think it's super important. I'm grateful for all the gratitude shrines I'm finding in the community cluster. People are starting to build gratitude shrines in their builds on the cluster, and that tells me that we have imbued this community, this world, with what the one thing we started out to do, which is express our gratitude for a place to play and friends and all that comes from it. All that springs from that gratitude is now it's spreading in the Uplift world, and it's 11:07 and I'm crying on the internet.
Yeah.
So
stupid feelings.
It's happening.
Isn't that becoming a common occurrence for you, Greg?
Oh,
It
I'm
always
famous
has
for it.
been.
I'm famous for it.
There's a reason why anytime you hear us or like you see us writing down a timestamp, it's because one of us is crying on the internet, and it'll happen a fair amount. It's a thing.
Off track.
It's a great problem to have. It's a great problem to have.
Is grateful for the EOS USA roller coaster. She just went over and rode it for the first time this morning. So there we go. Thank you, Laugh Track. Chicken Ka. There she goes.
I'm super grateful that Bull Shipples is back. Bull Shipples is like a meme lord from the Shipple days. Genuinely fantastic human being. We haven't really, been hanging out through the crypto winter too much, and he caught up on the Uplift stuff just in time. Got in bought a bunch of rail packs. Like, is really excited to give them to his kids and like have them in and building and doing some amazing things. It's really, really cool to have him back. So, and Gail,
I got a great gratitude, if it's okay.
Jimmy, go ahead.
I'm grateful to be on a live stream with Leon. This is my first time, Leon. It's very nice to meet you, and I've heard nothing but amazing things.
Nice.
Did you see his gratitude a few seconds ago?
I saw
Jimmy?
that person on the Twitter and the Periscope earlier. Hello.
Ron
I'm really
Russell.
grateful that my kids and my grandkids and my nephew and his friends have all found a home here. So I guess I'm just grateful for this home, this community.
All right.
I got Ron Russell here. That's a pretty good one. It's not Leon level Zen Master, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Ron Russell is grateful for courage and vulnerability.
Oh, I like it.
Crying on the internet, for instance.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Show strength.
Yeah. Jimmy, did you see Leon's gratitude this morning?
No, I didn't. I missed it. I came late. What was it? Can you tell me?
Look at that.
I'm grateful for making this. That's awesome, Leon.
Right?
That-
It's like Zen Master level 9,000.
and Corey, if I recall, this is one of the first conversations that you and I actually ever had. Power of making mistakes and getting better.
There we go. That
Fail
ties
fast.
into the earlier conversation I saw with Jimmy and Corey and so on. Jareen, I've got yours. Grateful for baby clothes with zippers.
Excellent.
Down with the snaps. There we go.
Cool. All right. So I think that's everybody on the stream. I think that's most of the people in the comments. And the moon's getting pretty low. So I'm going to head up to the front.
Please accompany us to the Western Cathedral Overlook. No, Eastern Cathedral
Hey,
Overlook.
whatever. One of those directions.
Take 2.
Something to do with the sun rising.
Let me
out.
try that again.
Welcome to the Uplift Vacation Kingdom. Please stand clear of the doors. I'm going to make a monorail recording. Get the trains up and running.
Nice.
I'm here for it. I like it.
Tour guide recordings.
Okay, so remind anybody who's in the stream with us, we mute our microphones as it gets close to sunrise, and I often forget to do that.
I do that as well. I kind of wanted to. I usually just look straight at the. I kind of wanted to watch the moon go down a little bit. It's fun. Mind the gap. Good point, Russ. All right, guys. We'll see you on the other side. So I'm obviously grateful for everything that happened yesterday and the last couple of weeks, as we sort of like showed everyone and ourselves, I guess, too, how real the uplift is going to be. But I wanted to touch on 2 specific things because I talk too much about like how grateful I am for all of you guys and how all that happened. It'll just be like me crying on the internet. A couple of things I think are really important that we as a community can I think take forward in a valuable way. The first one is I'm grateful for making mistakes. A lot of people said that the timeline that I established was much too fast, and we should wait till it's perfect. And I think, you know, there's a lot of value in that, and most of the people suggesting it have worked on projects that have been extremely successful, and that's why, because they have that sense. But what I'm hoping that we can instill, and not just for the project at large, but for everything that you guys build, is that the faster you make mistakes with abandon and learn from them, the more quickly you will evolve. And it doesn't matter if you're thinking about a relationship or a build that you're doing or a company that you're building or learn how to play guitar. I tell people, I've been telling people this for the better part of a decade. The only difference between me as a like semi-decent guitar player and people who are beginning is that I've made hundreds of thousands of times more mistakes. And I still make mistakes all the time, but I make them so quickly that you can't tell. So in this new space where we are at the bleeding edge of technology, a bunch of different technologies, but also I think at the bleeding edge of a social and community-based revolution where, you know, we've all been stuck in our houses, but we found ourselves here. And this has been going on the internet. That's not new, right? People have been creating community on the internet for quite a while, but it to me anyway, this feels different. And maybe just because it's my first time, but the idea that, you know, it is a space that will have its own economics and it will have its own art, and it isn't, you know, necessarily tied to any particular story or design or whatever. Like, I think there's some that interests me a great deal in it, and I sort of feel like that does with everyone else as well. So, you know, Leon, our dear Leon, who, in fact, I'll show you guys this, helped me build those pillars because he's awesome. Go ahead, Leon.
I built one of them but made a mistake on it. And then Russell fixed my mistake and then built the rest of the other pillar.
Yep. And we got that done pretty fast, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And you learned a lot even while we were just building those pillars, didn't you, about how to, you know, climb up and do stuff?
Yeah.
Indeed. Anyway, so
I also have one more thing to say.
Yes, please.
If you're ever in creative mode and you're in the sky and you're really high up, don't switch into survival mode, because then you'll fall to the ground, hit the ground, and die.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
And don't blow yourself up with TNT.
I think advice section over at this point. I had something else to say, but it doesn't matter compared to that. Just to reiterate so that everybody understands the wisdom that is coming from Zen Master Leon. If you are in creative mode, you are very high up in the sky, do not go to survival mode because you will fall and you will die. Also, I want this on a t-shirt. Don't blow yourself up with TNT. Show over. Anyway, and the only other thing I wanted to share is that we raised $40,000 to help build a school in Haiti yesterday. Right? And I was telling Michelle this. We have now, through the art drops that we've done and through the Uplift initial sale, we've raised more to build a school in Haiti than I have ever made in a year. And like, what? You're right. It's March. So, you know, we're going to be able to do really, really powerful things while having an economic incentive of our own, while creating a massive economy that's going to work for everybody, while being able to just have, you know, art and stuff and being able to have play dates, you know, with your nephew Leon, who's clearly a gem of a human being. I just feel really lucky and really grateful. And I'm just going to drop the mic now because what else is there to even say from me? But I really hope that I will hear from each one of you next. Who wants to go next?
So
Oh, Leon just threw his hand up. I mean,
Yeah, please do.
yeah, Leon, the floor is yours.
Okay. I am really happy that we had to play it once. And for our next play date, I want to go mining on the moon.
No small order that. Corey, please make the moon so that we can go play to there. Okay, heard.
Well, now we have to.
Teleport to the moon, and then I could teleport to you.
That's true. We'll have to make that happen somehow. It might take a while, but we'll figure it out. First, we have to build the moon. Then I will teleport myself to there, and then you can teleport yourself to there, and then maybe we can build moonrail or something.
So when you teleported Matimba to the moon, you didn't actually teleport her there.
That's correct. Yes, that was a figure of speech.
The monorail.
But I mean, that was a good catch. That was a good catch.
The monorail. Very good, Jennifer.
Yeah, nailed it.
I caught that.
Thank you, Leon. Jen, did you want to Banksy of the Uplift? Did you want to add anything?
I don't have a whole lot to add. It's been great this week in terms of learning and all the rest of that. I guess in terms of making mistakes, there's something to be said for it being a constant process, and the more you just accept it, the faster it goes, the easier it is, and the more you learn. But yeah, and that applies to art. I mean, a lot of the time, I can honestly say I don't have a clue what I'm doing, but I have a lot of enthusiasm, and I've had a lifetime of taking what's in my head and making it a real tangible thing. So yeah, that's about it.
That's enough.
I think Bob was on standby. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Well, thank you. Yeah, as they say, amen to the idea of full speed ahead. What I wrote down, and this was inspired in part by what I saw with Jimmy and Corey talking about lessons learned, etc. Feedback feeds the fire. I mean, so we definitely have the fire, and we should keep it burning. And so, like what I was listening to earlier, the unsaid part, which was really beautiful, was we hear you, we care, we're learning, and onward we go together. It's like A to the men. Yeah. So yeah, if we're gonna do this way, awesome. Let's make the mistakes. Let's support each other even more, because stuff's gonna continue to get real.
Yeah.
That's it.
So it would appear.
Yeah, and I'd like to say the mistakes are where it's at, really. I mean, you look at it, anybody who's learning anything, really, a baby, I mean, they fall over and over and over and over, and they just get up and just keep going. Just going. That's how they learn to walk. It's how everybody learns everything. Mistakes, honestly, all creative endeavors push humanity forward, and they're not really possible without at least 10 times as many mistakes for every one, thing that blossoms, basically. There's a lot of self-help writers who actually write about that, and they say that's the best way to live is to fail constantly. Just keep learning from every mistake and just get up and immediately. People who avoid mistakes just get stuck.
Yeah.
I mean, especially perfectionism and stuff like that. They can't even move. So, I mean, you guys are doing everything right as far as I can tell. Awesome. Keep it up.
I agree.
I'm curious about why it's easy for me to forgive other people's mistakes, especially Corey, because he makes a ton of them.
I mean,
in my humble opinion.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But it's difficult for me to forgive my own mistakes, right? They get in my head. They wake me up in the night. They follow me from room to room. And I mean, I know I have the tools to work through that, but it's always on my mind when I'm unforgiving of my mistakes, that it's easy for me to forgive someone else because I see their humanity more clearly than I see my own. I expect more of myself than I do of other people. And that's still an unrealistic expectation, regardless of whether I'm focusing it on me or you. So I know that I need to work on that when I make a mistake, it's okay. People may be disappointed, but I need to be less disappointed in my mistakes because as Yuri and Bob and Leon have pointed out, those mistakes are leading me to some better understanding and some better process. So I'm grateful, especially for Leon this morning. You nailed it, little man. Yeah, I'm grateful for mistakes. So thank you, Leon, and thank you guys. That's all I got.
Yeah. Here, virtual hug there, Greg, with you. And you just need a name like Bob. Then you say, God dang it, Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby. Yeah.
Dang it, Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby.
There it is. So Jimmy, Aunt Gail, or Nick, who wants to go next?
Jimmy, the floor is yours.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, Aunt Gail, go ahead.
Okay, I'll just add one little thing about mistakes. I'm not an artist by any stretch. And a few years ago, I was working in an addictions treatment center, and I decided that I needed to find a way to cope with the sad stories that I was hearing. So I decided to start painting, and I would paint way into the night, and it was an amazing experience. But one of the rules I had to set for myself, I had two rules with this creative endeavor. And one was, if whatever material I set out, I was going to use it. And the second rule was no, oh shit. So I couldn't say, oh shit, every time I made a mistake, because that meant I had done something wrong. And what I wanted to do was make those oopsies part of the process so that I could build on it. And I got my art to talk to me and tell me what to do. And so I didn't need to say, oh shit, anymore. And it made a huge difference in the enjoyment I felt painting. I just loved it so much. And it's because whatever I did was okay. And I sure learned a lot. So thanks from me, Leon, too, for bringing up this really important topic this morning.
Leon's eyebrows shot up when you said, oh shit, Aunt Gail. He was like,
well, there you go.
What just happened?
And, hey,
we're in a church, eh?
Leon's got his hand up in an extremely respectful way. So Leon, what do you got? Let's you can go now.
Could we have a play date after church, after the service is over?
I have a few things that I need to do right after this to actually build this thing out for a lot of people who want to show up, but we can book a time after this where we'll make it happen. How about that?
Sure.
Awesome. Thanks, Leon. All right, Nick or Jimmy. Nick, you're unmuted. Go to town.
Well,
and just let me go this for a second. Like, so Nick showed up in the Telegram channel for the Uplift, and is genuinely funny, super fun, super helpful, yada yada. Then we find out he's like a server genius. And Blue talked to him for like 5 seconds, and we basically drafted him onto the team. So that you guys know, Nick is actually part of our dev team and the sort of core development team for the Uplift now. And he also will rock some sock puppets if you give him any time at all. Anyway, sorry. I just wanted to give you a little introduction. But thank you very much for coming to your first ceremony.
Apologies.
It's my pleasure to be here, my friends. First off, I got to give mad props to Leon, man. Out of the mouth of babes comes some of the best advice ever, man. So I got to give you your props. Splinter would be proud of you. Every single one of the Zen masters that have come before you are looking at you and going, yeah, buddy. So, basically about mistakes. Yesterday in the YouTube chat, I had talked about my personal, mistakes that I have made. And Greg, like you've said, I have beaten myself up. I have literally gone, what could I have done better? Why did I make this mistake? Who is it going to affect? It is truly only when you learn that mistakes are here to help you that you can actually start to let go of the weight that they hold within you. The mistakes will always be made. We are not perfect. We will never be perfect. There is no such thing as perfect. Perfect only exists as an idea. But when you realize that the weight of the mistake, unless you have killed somebody, unless you have done harm to somebody, unless you have really done something to make the world less of a better place, it means nothing. And I'm not trying to minimize, I'm not trying to minimize anything that you believe, was a very grievous thing. But there's a lot of times when I put a hell of a lot more weight on something that I never should have put weight on. And it took me 20 something years to realize that. And once I did, I have become a better critic of myself, and I've become a better person. But Leon, man, thank you for bringing up the thing of mistakes. Greg, thank you for sharing that about mistakes. And man, I hope to God that I have many more years on this planet, that I can continue to make mistakes and make mistakes with every single person that is on this screen and every single person out there watching us and anybody that may come across this later, man. Let's all make some mistakes. Let's all make some fun. And let's just all be the auspice version of ourselves that we ever can be.
Boom. Jimmy, close us out.
Yeah, this is hard for me because I listen to a lot of people's opinions, and Nick, you are a really hilarious guy. Like, I really appreciate your wit. My wit is kind of dry and sometimes inappropriate, so I'm gonna try not to use it right now because, like, I don't always know if people know that I'm joking. I'm actually quite a lighthearted person. Greg, that kind of kicks off with you. I'm a lot the same, and whether it's right or whether it's wrong, I always say, like, I kind of have a mild case of OCD. And this is kind of bad if you think about people who really are afflicted by OCD, but I do honestly believe that because I'm the same way. On the topic of kids, for those of you that don't know, I have a 1-year-old. It's funny because, like, my 1-year-old is growing up in 2 languages, and sometimes I speak the language that isn't my native language to that 1-year-old. And when she does something wrong, I have no problem saying akan in Japanese, but I have serious problems telling her no. And it's the same meaning. It's just in a language that, like, I wasn't brought up in. But I think that my thing on mistakes is, like, I think when it comes to art and things like that, this is where mistakes are, like, beautiful and amazing. And if you don't make them, you're not going to be creative. That's a very biased opinion. Maybe not true. I mean, Pythagoras in his own way was an artist, and probably every triangle he made was perfect. For me, though, I think that my biggest issue is being trapped by fear of making mistakes. And I think that's where a lot of people are. So I think that the idea that the point in time where people realize that making mistakes is part of growing and experiencing new things, and that this is something that everyone does, and we have to forgive our own mistakes as well. And this is how we progress and move forward, is very, very, very profound. Leon, how old are you?
I believe Leon 8.
8. Yeah.
I this is on January 8th.
Well, I like that, actually. Yeah, fair enough. There's some other weird stuff there. With birthdays, I'm kind of a weird, I have a weird thing with numbers anyway. But yeah, like 8 years old, like, most people aren't that profound at 8 years old to realize that mistakes can make you a bigger, better, stronger superhero than you already are. That's all I'll say. And everyone on the stream that made those comments, like, Corey will tell you I don't let other people talk, but I really didn't want to talk because what other people on this stream were saying is so important and so amazing. So I'm really happy that everyone got to say what they believe, because it all spawned from, you know, the amazing idea of someone who realizes that making mistakes will make them a superhero in real life, you know, till the end of time. And everyone has their own experiences, and I'm so happy that I didn't go to bed and I stayed up here with you guys.
Hey, Corey, I got a last thing to share.
While
While
you
we
gonna
were
share your screen,
while we were all talking, this is why we love Nick. Nick made this and put it in the Telegram channel while we were all doing this.
Dude, there's another one that says, "Don't blow yourself up with TNT."
Yeah. Sorry, just had to drop that in there. Thank you very much.
They're so good. When those get minted as NFTs, Leon, we're gonna send you mint number 1 of each one of those things.
Thank you.
No, thank you for your wisdom and genius.
You're welcome.
Show over.
Yeah,
I love you guys. We'll be back next week.
Why don't we let Leon lead us out with the
that's
the thing
great
we
idea.
say at the end of every service?
Do the thing.
Okay.
I'll give you the count of 3. I hope he remembers what it is. 1, 2, 3.
In
the name of science.
Nailed it. And the snowballs go flying. Or not. 10 to 3 1. Leon's like, here, catch. Boink. Whoa! 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 So many snowballs.
You guys are my favorite people.
Yeah, this doesn't suck. Anyway, guys, thanks for showing up. We will be back next week. Same bad time, same bad place, same bad thing that we do. Anyway, love you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Ciao.
No.